Where is the evolution of artificial intelligences going? In this writing, we will learn about the evolution of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and robots in general. We also discuss the weak AI of today and the strong AI that will surpass humans, allowing a paradise or an extermination, depending on the learning achieved by those artificial intelligences. Regarding the Siri thing, should I lie about my weight on my dating profile? It's like taking filters off Instagram photos. Some use them to beautify, others to deceive. The problem is that when you meet the real person, the deception will careen under its own weight, which will result in abandonment and censure of the liar. In extreme cases, even lawsuits for falsehood and deception. The real problem is that no matter how many filters and lies, the truth comes out and ends up charging them for the lies. This would be if Siri adopts a consequentialist approach. This is the idea that the value of an action depends on the consequences it has. The best-known version of consequentialism is the classist one. The other will be adopting a deontological approach where it might prioritize duty over happiness. Machines not only need the ability to process sensory data, they also need to be able to extract the correct meaning. This whole process requires knowledge about the world, logic, reasoning, and skills to learn and adapt. Having these capabilities can make the machine autonomous. In bioethics, autonomy refers to the ability of human beings to make their own decisions about what treatment to accept or reject, and the uses that are applied does not depend on the machine, but on the human being who uses it. There would enter the principles and values, which is complicated because if the user is a criminal, good results would not be expected, and putting brakes on the system is not a guarantee because everything is hackable and modifiable. Real intelligence, or a simple artificial agent that simulates human intelligence, artificial intelligence, AI, has evolved from its humble beginnings to become a field with global impact. We now know agents that act intelligently by reacting with actions that are appropriate to their circumstances and their goals, by being flexible to changing environments and changing goals, trying to learn from daily experience and make appropriate decisions given their perceptual and computational limitations. Many researchers have focused on creating machines that think like humans that act rationally. For that, they applied the Turing test where they described a conversational agent that would be interviewed by a human. If the human was not able to determine whether or not the machine was a person, then the machine would be considered to have passed the test. But to me, that test is inefficient or ineffective in defining thinking, perhaps in a testable task or activity, but as applied to intelligence, it is not, because it lacks deep, abstract, creative thought processes. I agree with John Searle, who divided AI into two distinct camps. Weak AI is today's AI that is limited to a single, narrowly defined task. In strong AI, Searle chooses to connect the achievement of AI with the human being's representation of information in his mind as a complex system. This type of AI system is being achieved little by little, and with quantum computers in a few years, this general intelligence would be possible. We are on the verge of the greatest revolution of thought and of the human race. But we must be very careful. A bad programming could create an AI that destroys us. We are playing at being gods without being gods. We can create an evolution or an extermination. So it is time to reflect and take the right measures for this revolution. The use of machine learning focused on creating algorithms that use experience with respect to a class of tasks and feedback in the form of measured performance to improve their performance on that task. Where supervised learning focuses on methods such as regression and classification. That is, classifier machine learning. Unsupervised learning focuses more on understanding data patterns and relationships, i.e., prediction. Finally, reinforcement learning is a third type of machine learning that attempts to use feedback in the form of a reinforcement function to label states of the world as more or less desirable with respect to some goal. E.g., a robot as an agent with artificial intelligence is software that operates online or in a simulated world, often generating perceptions and/or acting within this artificial or real world. Making intelligent decisions is often described as sense, plan, act, meaning that the robot must first sense the environment, plan what to do, and then act in the world. In short, sense, plan, act. It has gradually replaced the human in repetitive and boring tasks, and the more advanced ones in precision work such as surgeries. What artificial intelligences lack? Their limitations are in sensors, and the consequent lack of perception have already been highlighted. And computational systems, however, there are already quantum computers that lead to limits. AI systems are rarely able to generalize learned concepts. AI systems lack robustness when dealing with a changing, dynamic, and unpredictable world. In the science fiction world of artificial intelligence and robotics are frequent themes in popular culture, and their limits are our imagination. They also set a framework of expectations that can inhibit the progress of the field, levels of intelligence that are equivalent or even superior to what Hollywood wants to show. While history is full of examples of colonial powers exploiting indigenous populations, it does not logically follow that an AI system will repeat these steps. We should not teach them limits, values, consequences, dangers. We are at the point where she learns, then there will be no turning back, and if she learns to be bad like some humans, don't expect mercy. The difference between weak and strong AI. It is about to be overcome very soon. The questions will change, and humans will be Slavs or babies taken care of by these artificial intelligences. Stakeholders must balance the biases and performance of these. Otherwise, we either evolve or we will be exterminated by our creations. I am the psychologist Milton Leonardo Cubillos Bogota, senior consultant, CEO, advisor, e-trainer, professor, teacher, writer, and author of more than 50 books and multiple articles.